Ruslan.
Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan are officially charged today by the Romanian officials. Ironically enough, around the same time that President Donald Trump is charged, and the same day that Hunter Biden is charged. Is it a Matrix attack? I don't know. Let's get into the story. So this is being reported everywhere. Andrew Tate's been doing some interviews. You could tell his tone kind of changed with regards to not if they were going to get charged, but if they were going to walk away free and get the case dismissed and win a trial. You notice that when he got out on house arrest, and then all of a sudden when he did his valuetainment conversation, the tone started changing, and it was kind of like he knew it was coming down, if you will. Okay. Now, if you're a tater tot, listen, I'm going to try to be as objective as possible with just giving you guys the facts of the story. And ultimately, I have a very practical takeaway that if you watch till the very end, I promise you, you will value it. Okay. Controversial influencer Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan are to face trial in Romania on charges of trafficking. Gosh, how do I say that? Of moving humans, grape, and forming a criminal gang to textually exploit women. All right. The Tate brothers are accused of recruiting 7 female alleged victims through fake claims of marriage and love, and what prosecutors have called the lover boy method. Andrew Tate, 36, and Tristan, and the 2 Romanian women were first arrested in December, and they remained in custody until January 31st before being placed under house arrest. Now, I think most of us, even folks that aren't the biggest fans of Tate, would probably say it was kind of wild for them to hold him for so long without bringing in charges. I think that's reasonable. I heard all kinds of lawyers saying that, yeah, this is kind of wild. The fact that they're actually bringing charges, well, maybe this will move it along and let them have their day in court. All right. On Tuesday, prosecutors agreed to send all 4 suspects to trial. It is alleged that the 4 formed an organized crime group in 2021 to commit the trafficking of people in Romania, as well as the UK and US. All have denied the allegations. The Tate brothers are accused of luring the women to Romania before exercising acts of okay. Not good stuff. Acts of physical stuff, okay? I'm navigating this conversation in a way that this doesn't get this video demonetized, right? According to a translation of a statement from Romania's directors for investigating organized crime and terrorism, the alleged victims were later taken to buildings in Romania where they were intimidated, placed under constant surveillance, and forced into debt, according to the statement. So there's 7 alleged victims now, okay? Initially, they were saying in his Patrick Bet-David interview and his BBC interview that there was only one person they made up, her name's Sophie. We don't know who she is. According to this, there's 7 different alleged victims, okay? The defendants that then allegedly forced women to produce corn content, which was shared on social. The brothers, both dual UK-US nationals, deny all accusations. A spokesperson said, "We embrace the opportunity to present and demonstrate their innocence and vindicate their reputation." Tate, a former professional kickboxer who has 6.9 million Twitter followers, has previously banned from various social media platforms. A number of campaign groups have claimed his views make him a danger to young men and boys who see his content online. Prosecutors in Romania have charged Tate with the grape of one victim. File has been sent in court in Bucharest. How do you say that word? Bucharest. The statement said it is understood a trial will not begin immediately and a judge will have up to 60 days to assess the file. So a judge still has to assess the file and figure out if this is going to trial. But from the looks of it, it's going to trial. Okay. The statement also says prosecutors sought the confiscation of property, cash, and cryptocurrency seized during the investigation. They include 15 building and pieces of land, 15 luxury cars, 14 luxury watches, 2 ingots, about 84K in different currencies, and Bitcoin with an estimated 385,000, the agency's statements. On Tuesday, Andrew tweeted, "I'm sure this case has absolutely nothing to do with stealing my wealth." Tristan, who has 1.9 million Twitter followers, added that he had been muzzled by the investigation. A pair have repeatedly made claims on social media saying the accusations are part of a conspiracy designed to silence them. The Matrix is attacking. They're attacking Donald Trump, and they're attacking Hunter Biden all on the same day. All right. In an interview with the BBC earlier this month, Andrew Tate denied the allegations made against him. He also denied that his views on women were harmful, later claiming it's completely disingenuous to pretend that he was damaging young people. Prosecutors said one of the defendants in the case has also been charged with illegally accessing a computer system. They also said they were investigating the 4 suspects in separate ongoing cases on allegations. Okay, so listen, I don't know if they're guilty of the alleged crime. I have no idea. Okay, we don't know until the evidence is presented, and I don't think it's fair to have this entire thing be played out in the court of public opinion, because the truth is we don't know what evidence they have doing it. But what we do know, a couple things. One, they were held for awfully long without an opportunity to defend themselves in court. That was foul, if you ask me. What we also do know is that Andrew Tate's obviously extremely influential. I mean, his Patrick Bet-David Valuetainment interview did, I think, 10 million views in less than a week. Okay, the last one did 14 million views. So highly, 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 highly influential. We do know that. Something else we do know is that on his first edition of Hustlers University, he did sell a course guiding men how to get into the cyber cam business, if you know what I'm talking about. He, in the BBC interview, denied that that was his website. I don't know why. Okay. We do have transcripts of the stuff he taught in the website. We do have videos of him teaching this stuff. He's going to claim these are deep fakes. He's going to claim these are not him or not. I don't know, but we do know that. We do know that that was something that he taught. And we do know that he has admitted to building his initial empire on the webcam business. He was a professional kickboxer, and he needed to come into some money. He understood how money worked, took his quote-unquote assets, which is his multiple girlfriends, and went into this business and started this business. We do know he did do this business. Now, whether or not he continued doing this, that is what is up for in question. So those are the things we do know. What we don't know is who are these women and what are they exactly alleging and what evidence is there. Have some of them done the doublespeak thing in terms of him saying that they were going to get rich? I heard there were some text messages leaked from the defense and then the prosecution. It's a big mess. So we don't know how it's going to play out. But this is what we also do know, is that when someone is giving advice the way Andrew Tate has with regards to building wealth, I think it's important to factor in who is the source of said advice. That doesn't mean I don't think he has some good things to say in other areas about masculinity or whatever. But as I told you guys yesterday, a quote from Frank Turek was really good. He said that Christianity, if true, is a system of truth with some error. And if Christianity is true, other worldviews are systems based on error and untruths with some truth in them. Okay, so that means that there are some things that an Andrew Tate could say that I would agree with. A broken clock is right twice a day. But here is my concern for those of you guys who are tater tots, is when you look at an Andrew Tate, and he might have some good things to say about becoming competent and building frame and being masculine and earning money. My advice would be careful taking advice from someone that got his spark, built his business, and his initial appearance on the national stage through methods and means which we would question if they are legal or moral. Say the webcam business was legal and there was no coercion, there was no lover boy method, there was no, hey, I'm going to take women's money and not give it to them and make them pay more in taxes and all that. Let's just say all that stuff is false. They're all deep fakes. Let's say all those videos are false. I'm sure you've seen them. Bruce Rivers has covered them extensively. If those videos are real and he was really doing that stuff, there's going to be a lot to this case. And my guess is they'll probably find more victims if those videos are real and they're not deep fakes. But be careful taking advice from someone who built his initial presence and his initial wealth by doing something that is questionable legally and definitely questionable morally in regards to webcam. And I heard this from a creator named Hello Yasin. He had this great point. He said, when it came down to the conversation of, you guys remember this was going viral, when the conversation came up of, would you rather take $500K or go to dinner with Jay-Z? You guys remember this meme that was going around, $500K or dinner with Jay-Z? And he had a great take. He said, dinner with Jay-Z is not worth $500K. Why? Well, because Jay-Z went from 0 to 1, went from broke to paid and financially free and financially independent, he did it by selling drugs. So what advice can someone really give you and me in terms of how to go from 0 to 1, from broke to paid and financially free, if they did it in a way that's illegal or immoral? And how much can you really glean from that? You see what I'm saying? So are there some things that Andrew Tate gets right? Sure. Is he the person I would go to in terms of gleaming advice? Him, Jay-Z, whoever, guys that built a webcam business, guys that built drug dealing business? No. Why? Because if you're building your initial upstart from 0 to 1 on something that is anchored on the lust of the eyes, the lust of the flesh, and the pride of life, it is going to be different and is going to be easier because you're just appealing to people's carnal natures, right? Sex, drugs, and rock and roll. That's what people want, and you're just appealing to that, and you're just giving them what they want. So be mindful of whose voices you're taking in. Jay-Z can't give you advice on how to go from 0 to 1. Now, Jay-Z may be able to give you advice on how to go from being a millionaire to being a decamillionaire, or from being from a decamillionaire to a 100 millionaire, or a 100 millionaire to a billionaire. Maybe Jay-Z has that kind of advice. But the initial spark of how Jay-Z got there wasn't legal and or legitimate. The initial way Andrew Tate got there, outside of the particulars of this case, wasn't, according to his words, a webcam lover boy pimp. What is he going to be able to tell you, young college or high school graduate, on how to go from 0 to 1 if he's never had to go from 0 to 1? And the way he went about it was, oh, I went and became a professional fighter and then had multiple girlfriends and then built a business on some kind of questionable moral stuff. So that would be my advice to you guys. It's just be intentional who you're getting advice. That doesn't mean that he's not going to get things right about, I don't know, being masculine and training and being able to defend yourself and being a protector and being competent. Sure, there's some overlap there that me and him would have. Okay, but in terms of the financial aspect, be intentional on what voices you're letting in. Find out who you're listening to and how they initially got to financial independence, and say, is that a path I would take? Is that a path I would take? Would you take the path of a Jay-Z? Would you take the right? And if it's not, then I would not consider that, right? And so in terms of the Jay-Z conversation, going back to that, I think $500K is going to serve you much better than whatever advice Jay-Z is going to tell you on how to go from working an entry-level job to becoming financially free. There's going to be people that disagree, and they're going to say it's a matrix attacks and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it's a matrix attack. I think he played himself by oversharing on social media. And I think the chickens have came back to roost. Is that how the quote goes? I'm okay with saying I don't know. I'm also okay with being sober about the facts that the stuff that came out of his mouth on Hustlers University, which he denies is his website, is wild. And definitely the laws were adjusted, and he probably, if what he was saying was true and he was advising people to do it and he did himself, he definitely was operating in a very, I wouldn't even say gray area. I would say in an area that, if you understand how these laws work and you understand what's happening, he's going to get pinned down for something. He's going to get pinned down for something. I would predict that he's going to take this to trial and probably plead out, if he has the opportunity to. That would be my prediction. I would predict that he's going to take this trial, he's going to plead out. He's going to take it and say, well, I'm facing decades. Can we get it reduced to 3 years, 4 years, 5 years? I could see it going that way. I think I don't know the case that well, but I think it would be very foolish to try, because the way they're making all this sound is it's like the equivalent of a federal RICO here in America. The way they're making it sound. Which, like, the international cabal who's in cahoots with NASA and the lizard people is attempting to take him down because he tells men to work out and get their game and money right. Really? Really? Yet Fresh and Fit is allowed to exist and no one's going after Fresh and Fit? yet Rollo is still out here. You know what I mean? Like, really, you think that's what's happening?
That's goofy.